Hello guys, welcome to another video. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, please, if you are new and you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button and join the NSD channel. I promise you it is informative here, it is a bit fun, and you are definitely going to enjoy it. So please do subscribe, don't leave without subscribing. In fact, let's just take a moment and wait for you to subscribe. And if you are a regular, a returning, thank you so much for continuously supporting me. You guys never cease to amaze me, really. Your comments, your likes, and I know there are people that shares my videos with others. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm grateful. Okay, I am here to answer another question that frequently pops up on my socials, right? I think I got this question on Instagram and I also got it on YouTube on one of my videos, and it was asked by someone in the UK, and they were actually asking if nurses in South Africa can afford, I think this particular person is considering to relocate to Africa. I didn't communicate with this particular person. I didn't have an interaction with them, but I just created a background profile. I think it's someone that comes from Africa and they're probably just tired of working abroad and they want to work in Africa and to be closer to home. I don't think it's a South African person, but I think they desire to come and work in South Africa just to be a little bit closer to their home country. It's something that I am assuming, and I know that there are also LPNs that are in the US who continuously ask how is the salary scale for nurses in Africa, because they are interested in coming this side. So yes, I am here. Oh, and this question was also asked by a learner who is still in high school. They're probably considering to study nursing, and they wanted to know if this profession can make them afford the type of life that they want to live out when they are young adults or when they start working. I actually loved how the person on Facebook, I deactivated my Facebook account. I actually wanted to go and read how they phrased the question. I think he or she said something like, "Hi, can nurses afford a fancy life?" Yeah, that's what I said. I laughed, okay, big time. So I am here to answer that question, to just have a chit chat with you guys about that particular question. I'm gonna be honest with you right now and tell you how much do I earn per annum. And I have 5 years of experience working as a registered nurse for the public sector. So I've never worked anywhere else except for the South African government, and I am not a specialized nurse. I know people think I'm specialized because I'm very passionate about primary healthcare and HIV and AIDS, but I haven't specialized in any of those fields. Yes, I am on my way of specializing right now. As I've said on most of my videos, that I haven't specialized because I wanted to be sure about what I love. I wanted to get into the space that I was passionate about and not get out, but get in it and just dive in deeper into that space. So I think I've reached that point of knowing what is it that I truly want with my life and with my career and my profession, so I can finally specialize. So I am not a specialized nurse. I'm a registered nurse with 5 years experience, meaning I am a grade 1 registered nurse. I've actually shared our salary scale in South Africa. I think I shared it last year. Might as well share it again this year. But personally, I am earning 256,000 per annum. I think, yeah. I obviously there are some cents there that I didn't add, but that is how much I'm earning, and I think it amounts to 20 or 21,000 rands. Am I able to afford the fancy life with this money? Am I able to afford a life? Yeah, comfortable life. The person that came from the US asked if I was able to afford a comfortable life. They were not asking me personally if I can afford a comfortable life, but they were asking if registered nurses in South Africa can afford a comfortable life. I am here to tell you guys that I cannot say yes, registered nurses can afford a comfortable life, and at the same time I cannot say no, registered nurses cannot afford a comfortable life, because my wants and my needs are not the same as someone else's wants and needs. For an example, I earn 21,000 rand or 20,000 rand, I'm not sure. with that money, my responsibilities are not the same as another registered nurse that earns the same money, right? Their car preference, it's not the same as mine. Their house preference, it's not the same as mine. So the car that I drive, currently I'm driving a Captur Renault. It's a 2017 model. That car ranges from 320,000 to 380,000, depending on which model you are driving, obviously. So I'm driving that car. It's a car that I love with all my heart. I wouldn't trade it for any other car. I wouldn't pick any other car. I picked what I loved and I adore it. That's why I'm just willing to keep it and not trade it in and not sell it or anything like that. That is actually my first car. If you've watched my vlogs, you've seen that car. That is quite an expensive car. It is an SUV. I had my reasons why I wanted an SUV, and I was not willing to settle for something that I didn't want. I know I could have went for a smaller car, a cheaper car, and someone may even come here and say a car is not an investment. Well, I was not buying it because I wanted an investment, but I was buying it because I love it and I wanted it, and I don't even feel like it is a setback for me. It is what I want. So it goes back, or it boils down to me saying, what I want, it's not what you want. You might want to drive a Polo, you might want to drive a Hyundai i20, you might want to drive a Picanto, you might want to drive a Kwid, but I want to drive a Captur Renault, and I love it. It makes me happy, and your Kwid makes you happy. So you're obviously paying lesser than I do in terms of installment, meaning now our affordabilities, it's no longer the same. If you get yourself a Kwid, you can always afford like a townhouse that costs something like 648,000 rand, or almost 700,000. You can pay that house. It's a 3-bedroomed house. So someone can own a 3-bedroomed house in a Polo, and they are earning the same salary that I'm earning. And with me, because I'm driving a Captur Renault, I can afford a house that costs something like 500,000. I can afford to pay that house 600,000, but because that's not the type of house I want for myself, for my dreams, I haven't decided to go for that house. But if I wanted it, I would afford it. If I wanted to buy a smaller Nyana townhouse, a smaller Nyana 3-bedroom townhouse, or a flat somewhere in town, I would afford to buy that. But that is not on my goals. That is not what I want. That is not what I desire. So I'm not gonna go for that. Hence, I'm still staying in my parents' house that they bought while they were still working, and I've decided not to go out and rent. I can actually go out and rent my own place, but I've decided not to do that. I have my terms and conditions of when will I be moving out of this house. So that's why I'm saying I'm unable to say nurses are able to live nurses are able to live comfortably on their salaries in South Africa, because trust me, someone can live comfortably with this 256,000 rand. They live comfortably, they have their smaller Nyana car, they have their smaller Nyana townhouse, and they're just happy with that. And their dreams and ambitions are also not the same as mine. I still want to study, I still want to establish my own businesses. I have goals that are orientated on my career as well. So we can never be the same. We don't spend our money the same. Our desires, our want, our wishes, they are not the same. Also, nurses who are not working for the public sector, who are on the private sector, I don't want to talk about hospital nurses, because some hospitals, some private hospitals, are actually not paying higher than the government does. Some of them actually pay the same amount that the government does. But there are other institutions, like, I don't want to mention names, but there are other institutions, private institutions, like your mines. Your mines have clinic, right? Like your retail pharmacies, they pay registered nurses a lot. Oh, I don't think I should have said a lot, but they pay registered nurses well. I've got a friend of mine that is working in a retail pharmacy, and she takes home something like 28,000, I think. Yeah, I think she earns something like 28,000. I haven't calculated it per annum how much it is, but retail pharmacies pay better because they are a private sector. HIV NGOs, like your research companies, they pay beautifully. Okay, so who else pays better in South Africa in terms of registered nurses? Yeah, private sector just pays a little bit better compared to the government. So with the government, your salary scale changes after every 10 years. I hate that. I totally hate that. I'm still a grade 1 nurse, right? Meaning someone that just completed this year or last year, and this year they are doing their ComServe. Next year they'll be doing their first year as a registered nurse. They will be a grade 1, and we will be on the same salary scale. With my 5 years of experience, someone who just came in with their 2 years of experience, we will still be on grade 1 together, and we will be earning the same amount of money until I reach 10 years of experience as a registered nurse, and then my salary is going to move into another scale. That's why I'm saying I think I need to do an updated how much nurses are making in South Africa video. So I hate that. I hate the fact that we moving from one grade to the other after 10 years. It sucks. 10 years is a lot. Like, I'll be working like a duck by the time the department decides to put me on grade 2 nurse. I'll be working like a duck like this. I'll be working like this because I'll be tired of standing and working the whole day for 10 years waiting for a better salary scale. I'm saying better, but I know that the grade 1 salary scale is actually a better salary scale for somebody else. But for me, I don't think it is. I don't want to be earning 256. Is it? Yes. I don't want to be earning 256,000 anymore. I'm here with it, okay? I'm tired of it because I feel it limits me. It limits my goals. It limits what I want. The house that I want, it doesn't allow me to be driving a Capture and be earning 256,000, okay? It doesn't allow me. It wants me to downgrade my Capture, and I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to let go of praise, okay? I love my car. I would rather finish her off and get the house that I want, or I would rather leave and get a better paying job. So I can't come here and say, oh, when you come to South Africa, you're definitely gonna be able to afford your life. And next thing you come to South Africa, you want to drive your BMW X6, and you also want to buy your mansion house as a registered nurse, and you say, but Z said I can afford a comfortable life. So your comfortable life might not be my comfortable life, okay? My comfortable life might be a little bit expensive, and yours might be a little bit affordable, and the 256,000 might afford it. But for me personally, the 256,000 rand does not afford to buy the dreams that I want for myself. I think the other thing that helps in terms of the salary affording what you want, when you have a second paycheck, let me put it like that, or when you have a husband, is your husband's paycheck your second paycheck? I think it is, yeah. So when you have a second paycheck, I think it makes it a little bit easier. You can afford things as well, because now it would mean if you are both registered nurses, it's 256,000 times 2. So yeah, you would afford better. But for me, I'm not comfortable with my salary. I'm genuinely not comfortable with my salary, but I know a lot of people who are very much comfortable with their 256,000, and yeah, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If people want the not so expensive life, it's good. If it gives you satisfaction, it's good. If the expensive life also gives you satisfaction, it's also good. I think people need to let go of this whole thing of wanting to impose their financial values on other people. Like, you cannot tell someone that they can't drive an expensive car. I mean, it's their money after all. Like, why must they make you happy? They need to make themselves happy first. You know, when I bought my car, a lot of people were like, oh, you this is your first car, how do you buy such an expensive car for your first car? You don't even know how to drive. How do you, like, land with such a big car. And I was like, this is the car that I wanted. If you want the smaller car, go for it. I'm good with this one. I love it, and I'm gonna stick to it. And I've been driving my car for the past 3 years now. Yeah, I've been driving my car for the past 3 years, and I'm not willing to trade it. So I hope this video clarifies a lot of things for the people that are tempted to move to South Africa. For an example, I know that LPN, I think LPN in USA is actually assistant nurse in South Africa. I know an assistant nurse that is working for the mines, for the clinic mines, and they earn 19,000 rand. Yeah, that's a lot of money compared to the assistant nurse that works at a government institution. So when you come to South Africa, you need to know which company do you want to work for. Do you want to go for the private sector, or you want to go for the government sector? You know, when I did my graduation speech, so when I was graduating, because I'm talkative and I'm a public speaker at Beth, because I'm a public speaker, my lecturers asked me to be the one that responds on behalf of the graduates during our graduations. You guys know that we were bursary holders, right? So we had to give our thanks to the department for paying our fees for the past 4 years of our studies. And I said to my fellow graduates during that year, it was in 2016 in Klerksdorp, and I said to my fellow graduates that, guys, please let us work for the government, let us not resign, let us serve the poor. I don't care how poor the government is, I don't care how underpaid government nurses are. Please let us stick to working for our people and serving our people. It's good, it's nice to get a thank you from a poor person. It's fulfilling. But right now I've received enough thank yous to last me a lifetime, and I am definitely ready to start working for myself, to start working to develop my personal life. And obviously personal development requires money. If yours doesn't, please comment down below and let me know how do you do it, because personal growth requires money. If you want to start a business, you'll need money. If you want to buy a house, you'll need money. If you want to buy a car, you'll need money. If you want to do stuffs, you will need money. So personal growth really requires money. I'm very much grateful for everything that the department has done for me, like taking me to school, giving me my first job, giving me the experience that I have, all the short courses that I've done with them, because all the certificates that I have are actually certificates that I got from the workshops that I got from the department. So I am very much grateful for everything that they've done for me. It's not that I'm ungrateful, I am super grateful, but I feel I've reached a point where I now want to work for myself. I don't want to only serve, I also want to work to better my life, to better myself, and to just grow in this profession. Okay, so if you want to come to South Africa, you need to come knowing who do you want to work for. Do you want to work for the public sector? Do you want to work for the private sector? And as much as we love money, everybody loves money. If you don't love money, then there must be a problem with you. But we all love money. But I just want to give you an advice that sometimes money should not be the one particular thing that you are prioritizing. You need to also consider your mental health. You need to consider what pleases you. I'm that particular person. I consider my mental health a lot. I consider what pleases me, even if it displeases other people, or even if it goes against the norms of the society. Like, you know, people will expect you to first do this or do that before you could do this. I'm not that type of a person. I'm the type of a person that goes for what makes them happy. So you first need to go what makes you happy. If it's money, then go for money, baby girl. But if it's mental health, if it's your well-being, then consider certain things before you start chasing the better paying institutions. Because trust me, with the better paying institutions comes a great responsibility, comes a lot of pressure. I know with the HIV research NGOs, the pressure of the targets, baby girl, when they want the statistics at the end of the month, Nana, you're gonna sweat. You're not gonna sleep at night. They're gonna call you when you are at the funeral. They're gonna expect you to have your laptop at your mother's funeral, okay? And you're gonna submit statistics at your mother's funeral. That's just how crazy it is. So they might be paying you that 40K, but you are gonna work for that 40K. Okay, you are gonna work and you are going to produce results. So don't be quick to jump into those spaces that are high paying, because they demand a lot of mental stability and total well-being. If you are not ready mentally, if you are not ready intellectually, you are gonna crash. Okay, if you join those companies while you are immature, you're definitely going to crash. So when you go and join those companies, you need to know that I am ready to take the hit. I'm ready to take anything that comes at me right now, because those companies are actually companies that are funded by the US, I think. Yeah, so those are companies that are funded, and they need to produce statistics to make sure that the funding continues, or else you might lose the funding and you will lose your job. So with the public sector, there is stability. I'm laughing. With the public sector, there is stability. So if you are someone that doesn't like the fast lane, the fast lane life, then you are that particular person that likes chillaxing, that likes relaxing, that doesn't want a lot of noise and a lot of pressure at your workplace, then you can definitely go and work for the public sector. There's a lot of stability there. Nobody's gonna come and say, hey, we don't have funding, so you're losing your job. Well, what they did this year, they came out and say, hey guys, we just had a pandemic, so you're not gonna get your increases. Like what? Johnny? How are we not going to get our increase when we are busy giving unemployed people 350? How are we not going to get our increase when we were the ones who didn't get a lockdown? When we were going to work from level 5 to level 1 and we don't get our increase? That is so unfair. So yeah, with Department of Health, that's the only tragedy that can happen. Like, they're going to come out and say, listen, we can't pay you guys. Like, we can't give you your increase this year because we had a pandemic. But with the NGOs, on the other hand, they might say this department or this division is closing down because we're no longer receiving funding for it. And you really need to be smart when you are working for the high-paying institutions in South Africa. You need to be smart financially. You need to know how to save, because any day can be a rainy day for you. But yeah, I hope this video answers your questions in terms of wanting to find out if nurses can afford or they can afford. Yeah, basically that's it with this video. If you liked, if you enjoyed, please do give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you are new. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot keep coming back to my YouTube channel watching my content without subscribing. That is pure witchcraft, you guys. Please subscribe, like, comment and share, and I will see you on my next one. Mwah.